Welcome to the distinguished annual event, the Queen Rania Teacher Academy Forum 2023, under the theme Revitalizing the Learning Experience to Reignite Inspiration and Passion. We would like to thank you all for attending this forum and welcome you. Established in 2009, the Queen Rania Teacher Academy is a non-profit institution that embraces the vision of Her Majesty Queen Rania Al Abdullah to enhance the quality of education by empowering teachers with necessary skills. QRTA provides innovative and high-quality professional development programs in Jordan and the Arab world. QRTA effectively contributes to serving the educators community, reflecting its commitment to education development and enhancing educators' skills through a range of specialized initiatives. This includes opportunities for continuous learning and advanced training for teachers and school leaders. As part of these initiatives, QRTA hosts an annual forum, bringing together distinguished educators from around the world to exchange experiences and stimulate innovation in the field of education. This year, our forum stands out with dedicated workshops led by educators for educators. These workshops aim to enhance learners' knowledge and equip teachers with the tools and skills to make the student learning experience more exciting and engaging. They also aim to provide students with the means to explore the world, interact with international issues, and maintain a continuous curiosity for research and questioning. Before the start of today's workshop, we would like to remind you that you can obtain a certificate of attendance. We look forward to your participation in the feedback survey, which will be shared with you before the end of the workshop. Thank you for the cooperation and valuable presence. Please allow me to introduce Ms. Khulud Al-Madhoun, IB, DP, and CAS coordinator at King Faisal School Girls in Saudi Arabia, and she will be talking about fostering collaboration and community engagement for sustainable service projects.
Thank you, Shadi. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you, participants, and good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Maybe you're joining from different areas, so maybe it's afternoon or evening. So greeting from Riyadh. Welcome, everyone. We are absolutely thrilled to have each other in this session today. And I am excited to have this forum and to share, so we can share our ideas and brainstorm our experience and share the experience and brainstorm the ideas so we can come up with the best solutions for sustainable service projects. Before I start, I would like to thank Queen Rania Teachers Academy for opening the doors of opportunity to educators everywhere to share their ideas, as I mentioned, and to learn from each other. It's great honor to be with you today, and thank you so much for your presence and for your time to join this session. Before we start, as Mr. Shadi mentioned, the session's title is Fostering Collaboration and Community Engagement for Sustainable Service Project. So we'll be basically talking about the service project and sustainability. Okay, before we start, I would like to introduce myself. This is Khulud Al-Madhoun. I'm Jordanian from Palestinian origin, living and working in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I've been working in the field of education for more than 23 years. I worked as IB educator and currently occupying the position of IBDP CAS coordinator. If you are not working in the IB program, CAS stands for Creativity Activity Service. So this is part of my passion, basically, the service and the service project. I've conducted multiple projects around in different areas, and one of them was the refugee projects that we might talk about it also. I'm an IB members working with the IB as a program leader for evaluating the MYP schools. I'm currently studying at Lynn and Erickson Learning for concept-based to be a certified trainer. Sorry. And the most important thing is that I'm a mother of 3 beautiful daughters and 1 son. The eldest is married, and I hope to be a grandma soon. I'm hoping. Okay, let's start our session. The objective that we will discuss today, as you know, that the title is about sustainable service projects. So we'll be talking about the objectives. We need to know how can we transform education for sustainability? How can we engage the whole school community for reciprocal and sustainable projects? How can we empower youth to be global citizens? How can we come together for a reciprocal and sustainable project? So the basic thing is I'll go through multiple topics related to sustainability, but the most important thing that I would like to share multiple resources with you that will help you at the end of the session, that maybe you can implement in your school, you can share it with your students, you can it help you to create a sustainable global sustainable generation. Now let's start with the first activity also on Padlet. We need to imagine as an introduction, imagine year 2050. We'll go to the future, we'll travel together. Just imagine, and there are 3 questions in this activity. We would like just to share it on Padlet. We want to know the first question: what does your sustainable future look like in 2050? Just imagine if you will walk in a community in this year, how would it be? If you will go to education, how education will look like, how your work will look like, how will it be different from now? So you can write your thoughts on the Padlet under the second section. And if you want, you can insert an image that reflects this sustainable future. You can just go to the internet and choose any image with a caption if you want that reflects the life in 2050. And the second question, what do you think? What knowledge and skills or values and competencies were needed to go there? What do students need? What values they should have? What skills they should be equipped with to reach or were needed to take us there? And the third question, how did education contribute to this? What kind of education helped this new generation to reach or to achieve this sustainable future? So just go again to the same Padlet. The link is already there, and we'll have the second section here. You have all the 3 questions. Just click on it and add your whether it's picture or ideas. So I'll be waiting for your participation in this activity. If you can write your name on top of your post, so I won't see it as anonymous. I love the first post. I don't know who wrote it, but I love the start. First of all, I hope that Palestine will be free. Thank you for this. It's all of our emotions and hearts is with Palestine and Gaza. And we hope that peace prevails in this area, and we feel so bad for what's going on. Of course. Thank you, brilliant answers. I'd be grateful to see your names on top of your project, of your post, sorry. Thank you. Marwa, I like the picture you posted here with the sustainability. I see future, different future from ours.
Thank you, Ms. Woodward.
You're welcome. So if there are other participants joined us recently, so we'd like to say that we are working on, again, just to share it if someone joined us, we are talking about sustainability. We are working on this activity now, which is Imagine 2050. Just click on the link on the chat and go to the Padlet, the second section, and tell us about the future of 2050. And there are 3 questions we would like the participants to answer. What does your sustainable future look like? Write your thoughts, insert an image, then tell us what knowledge and skills, values are needed to get there. The 3rd question, how did education contribute to this? So for the new participants who joined us, so please go to the 2nd one. And of course, would like to see your name here on the 1st section. You can write your name, your position, your country, just to have your connection with us and start working on the 2nd section. Thank you. Okay. I see brilliant answers here, and thank you for your participation. Let's go now to start. As you mentioned, and of course, we are living in a complex, interconnected, and interdependent world. There are dramatic global challenges that our planet and societies are facing that affect all of us. And they include the conflict, terrorism, wars, poverty, climate change, environmental degradation, equitable management, and natural resources. Lots of issues and problems are facing us today. So students and learners need to be equipped with relevant skills, knowledge, attitudes, and values to engage with the 21st century problems and find solutions to tackle them. But the question is, how can we prepare the students to the future? How can we prepare the young generation to be able to face all of those challenges? The answer is in education. Education needs to be transformed, and we teachers and educators have big responsibilities to bring about change in the society and affect the lives of their students. So let's see in the coming slides how we can focus on this area, how we can transform education, how can we create service project, how we embed this in our curriculum, how we can work on it. So let's first see this urgent call from the United Nations to transform education, to make a change in the life of those young generation. I'll go here with you to the video. Sorry, it's this one. Please, I hope that it is working. Now when I click on it. Can you hear the voice? Just give me a thumb up, or just tell me if the video is working, the voice is clear.
We, the participants who convened online from the 17th to the 19th of May 2021 for the World Conference on Education for Sustainable Development, are convinced that urgent action is needed to address the dramatic interrelated challenges the world is facing.
For too long, we have continued business as usual.
Our only home in the universe is this special place down here.
Challenges that really concern me are, first of all, food and water security.
Never have we needed education on climate change and sustainable development more than we do today.
We are confident that education is a powerful enabler of positive change.
Bildung schafft Chancen und Perspektiven für die oder den Einzelnen, aber auch für die Gemeinschaft.
School is a place for education and the teaching of values.
La lutte contre le réchauffement climatique commence dans nos écoles.
Education for sustainable development is the foundation for the required transformation.
This starts with transformative learning, which empowers people to transform themselves and to take action to transform the world.
Education for sustainable development will be at the core of reimagining education.
ESD is the very education which equips learners with capabilities to respond to the unknown and abilities to transform society.
We commit to ensuring that education for sustainable development is a foundational element of our education systems at all levels, with environmental and climate action as a core curriculum component. Transformative learning for people and the planet is a necessity for our survival and that of future generations. The time to learn and act for our planet is now.
Okay. So it's an urgent call. This call is for all of us, as we see that the role of education is not only to focus on content, it's not only to focus on a plan that we maybe a curriculum we need to finish. It's more focusing on the global citizenship education and education for sustainable development goals. We need to engage those two goals and to keep them whenever we plan or whenever we work with young generation as educators. You will see the two terminologies I'm going to repeat throughout the session. Global citizenship education, which is GC education, and education for the sustainable goals. The abbreviation is ESD, or education for the SD. Now, so since the role of education now revolves around two important things, the global citizenship, we need to create global citizenship. We maybe hear this word a lot, creating global citizenship. We have it in our vision, we have it, but are we really aware of how to create global citizenship? Do we really work on developing global citizenship? So this is what we want now to focus more on and see how we can do it. And we need to know also what is sustainable development education. Now, quick activity on the chat box. If you can share your ideas with me, just tell me if we need to work on global citizenship and educate the generation, what values we need to teach to those kids or students in order to make them global citizens. So this is, you can share your ideas on the chat. What values we need to embed in our curriculum or to teach for those kids. The second one is that we need to teach for sustainable development, so what topics and themes we need to focus on. And I put something here for you as a hint, so it might help you. What topic we need to teach to our students. So if you can share your ideas with us on the chat. What values we need to teach, what topics and themes, the values to create global citizens, and what topics we need to teach. If you can share your ideas on the chat box, just click on it and write your thoughts. What global citizenship to promote respect for universal values. Values, humanity, and empathy, brilliant. Open-mindedness, responsibility for every action you take. Yes. Compassion, critical thinking, brilliant. Values of considering others, determination, perseverance, awareness. Brilliant answers. Okay. Values. Okay. Excellent. So yes, all of your answers are correct. We need to create, as you see, for creating a global citizen education, a human right, respect for diversity, intercultural understanding, citizenship education. And at the same time, we give them the themes to work on. So it's not only working on the sustainable development goals, it's also embedding those values and providing the skills students need in order to work on those challenges we have in our world. Let's have some examples of how we need, all of you do multiple activities in your schools, but we need to focus on the values and the skills in addition to tackle the global or sustainable development goals. We need, for example, this is one of or some of the projects we conducted in different schools. It's Ramadan Basket Initiative. Every month during Ramadan, the students, we have it like a habit in the school that grade 7 and 8 students, and this is part of King Faisal School's habit, by the way, they celebrate all the international days of the calendar in order to embed the values of empathy and sympathy and encourage students to have volunteerism, community awareness, sense of belonging. Students investigate the needs of the community. They work with different local organizations and they start getting sponsors, collect the food, and they send it to the organization. So we'll do the distributions for the families in needs. The most important thing in this is the reflection we do before and after about what values we learned, what did we learn, what exactly we got from this opportunity. So always encourage the values or the empathy, what they learned from it. So you can do it in different grade levels. Maybe they do small actions, but at the end, you teach those kids the values to become global citizens and the skills they need. This is another example of the education. It was a human rights conference where all students gathered from different schools, and each school presented a presentation. They played, they acted on, they made a performance on the stage, and the goal was basically to show how we can take an action towards protecting children's rights. And then they gathered together to reflect on what values they learned, what skills they need, and how can they tackle those problems in around the world. So you can see that GC education, which is global citizen education, plus the education for sustainability. And when we say education for sustainability, means that you need to teach students how to develop it and make it long lasting sustainable project, whether you're teaching, and this is another project. Now, it's very important, as we mentioned at the beginning, to embed it in your curriculum. So this is, for example, an art lesson where the teacher helped students to reflect or share their ideas about global goals through art. So it is recommended that all of the lessons to be connected to the sustainable development goals, and let students share their ideas, express them through the lesson, whether it's chemistry, biology. So it is encouraged to have this link with students. So let them come up with ideas that link your lesson to the sustainable goals and help them to develop these values. So it's not a responsibility of one person or one educator or the teacher alone. Creating sustainable citizens is the responsibility of the whole school in general. It should be in the formal curriculum while planning with teachers. It should be embedded in the school's policies and vision. It should be supported by the school management, and it should be modeled by teachers and management in the school, and of course represented in special events, in real life, in the school community interaction. All of the schools should be working towards the development of sustainable development goals, and we should repeat it and mention those terminologies in front of the kids and let them reflect on it all the time. So engaging with the whole school community, make it something, share it with parents, with teachers, students, principals, and the whole community. And because the values won't be the responsibility of educators only, it's the responsibility of everyone. Family should work on it with their kids, principals, teachers, students themselves. They should always, we remind them of the values and the skills they need in order to be global citizens. It's not something that can happen in one grade level, but if we'll have it like a system in our schools, of course, these students will learn how to have it like something, values, they will develop it in the future. Now, let's see now how we can empower the global citizens towards creating a service project. We do lots of service projects, but the question is, how can we make it a real purposeful service project? We need to empower those young generation. In the coming slide, you will see some suggestions you can implement in your classes, in your school, in order to create a meaningful, purposeful service project. You have to include the 3 elements you see in front of you of building relationship, growing reciprocity, and having sustaining lasting relationship. Always ask the kids before they start a service project, going to orphanage, for example, volunteering in a hospital, traveling abroad for service project, doing something for the local community. Ask them those questions. Are you going to build relationship with this community? Are you aware of the community history, culture, and language? And how you can build connectedness before undertaking the service project? What do you know about the community? Do not start any service project before knowing the background and the cultural background and what the community need. So they will not do the service. For example, some students come, okay, Miss, we'll go to the orphanage and we'll start doing, we'll do a breakfast for them. My question to them, are you aware of the need of the community? Do you know what the orphans need? Based on what you decided the breakfast as a plan for this visit. So they run always to the preparation part. Stop them and let them work on the investigation area first. What do I want to know? Let them interview people, let them go to the orphanage principal, administration, and see what the need there. Not only this, encourage always reciprocity. It's all, you're going to do a project to benefit others and you benefit yourself. Ask them the question, what are you going to learn from this project? What's the benefit that you will get and how you also will serve others? The third one is the sustainable lasting project. We will not do it to tick boxes only, or will not do it to have a requirements that we need to achieve. How you can make it sustainable, what else you can do for this community, and what are you going to leave for others also to continue this project. If we need to have like a genuine communication or a genuine project, we need to consider those 3 things. Let's have this quick activity to check if this is this service project is a real one. Is it a real purposeful project? A local school receives a brochure from a professional service learning company running 2-week trips to Cambodia. It looks like a great package and students are excited about traveling overseas. The brochure describes over 2 weeks, students will learn about the history and culture of Cambodia. They will travel culturally and historically significant sites, and also as part of the service component, students will also be taken to an orphanage in Cambodia for a day where they will have the opportunity to play with the children and understand the difficulties facing orphaned and abandoned children in developing countries. Also, there is another opportunity for the kids who will travel. Another 2 days will be spent helping to build homes for poor families on outskirts of Phnom Penh in Cambodia. Now, the brochure contains amazing pictures from several students who traveled before, and they said, the quotes from students on the brochure says that we really changed the lives of those people and we are glad to make the difference in their lives. The question now to you is this: what do you think of this brochure? What do you think of this service opportunity that the students will travel to Cambodia to do it in 1 day? Would the service experience be meaningful? Is it reciprocal? Is it sustainable? And please get back to the Padlet here and let me go to it. It's here. No, not this one, sorry. Okay, it's this one. Okay, the third column, what do you think? I just want you to tell me, is it a service project? You feel that serving the orphans 1 day, and here I put the explanation for you. Is it a purposeful service, and why not? Is it reciprocal? Is it sustainable? What do you think? going to the orphanage, because the kids believe that they will change the lives of those people.
Can I
So,
speak?
yes.
Can I
If you,
speak?
yes, you want to share
Thank
your
you.
ideas or write it on the Padlet? You want to share your ideas with us?
I want to answer. It's okay.
You
Yeah,
can.
I think that if this visit will affect the life of the orphans effectively, I mean, for the far-sighted goals, I think it is successful visit.
Okay.
It is sustainable.
How do you think brilliant. How do you think the kids within one day will affect the life of those kids?
No, not in one day. I mean, if this activity will be reflected, for example, we tell them stories about how to change their lives, how about successful people who had same problems, and then if we like teach them how can they exceed this problem that they have in, and give them, like, tell them successful stories about great people around the world who have changed their life, like give them like workshop, or give them far-sighted activity, teach them how those people exceed their problems and difficulties, and they become very like famous scientists, greatest, they got Nobel Prize, or they, like, for example, they became businessmen, they became millionaire, like this. We can motivate them. We can motivate them to change their lives, to study hard, to do good in their school, not to be positive in their learning and their life, to enjoy their this real life in this place. We can give them positive motivation, positive ideas that they can live in, and practical also application for like those people who were orphaned and they became great people, and they now can affect all people around the world.
Brilliant. You know why? You are talking about reciprocity. You are talking about sustainability, because I think if what you just mentioned will be implemented, maybe we will encourage the kids to have like more relationship with those orphans in order to inspire them in the future. So yes, if we will do something like this to inspire the orphans, and we will change their lives or impact them, yes, of course. Thank you so much. You're right. Any other participation? On Padlet, if we can see if someone wrote any ideas here. Yeah, I like you mentioned someone. I can't read the name. I'm sorry, Fatima, maybe. She said that, yes, in my opinion, that will work on a long term.
Yes, Fatima.
Fatima, sorry, because it's not clear on top of the post. Fatima, yes, excellent, because you mentioned that if it will work long term, the word long term, of course, it is important. It's not only like we always try to avoid this, we call it parachute service. It's only like short term. Yes, brilliant. Thank you so much. So, any other ideas, or someone maybe like to feel free to unmute yourself and share your ideas if you like. Anyone wants to just share this visit, one day visit, you think it is a service? Because we do this sometimes with our kids. We take them abroad to go to do service project with some companies. We are not against it. We can do this. But the idea is that we need to make it sustainable, reciprocal. We need to understand the culture before. I see Raida.
Yes, can I
Yes,
speak?
Raida. Well, yes.
Yeah, I have another idea also. One day visit can do a lot, I think, if we like prepare it very well, like intensive. We tell them about the psychology of those kids will be changed positively. You are taking them away. They change the place, they change the time. They feel that this journey or one day visit give them encouragement to to continue. Like we need, even it's a break for them psychologically. Like we are teachers, we need a break sometimes. Sometimes I feel that I want to go out, I want to visit some place. This like break will give me more motivation, more encouragement to continue my work as a teacher. So the kids the same, they like journeys. What about if we make this like journey or this one day visit different, unique? Every minute has a useful thing for the kids. Like we prepare so much, activities should be well prepared before we make this day, we make this visit. Like every minute should be accounted, that in every minute they learn something, they change psychology, their mood will be better, make them happy. This is very nice experience. I think this one day visit will account if we prepare it very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Raida. Brilliant. You said if we prepare it very well. If we prepare it very well, makes a big difference when you tell them the cultural background and maybe you continue this in the future. Brilliant. Okay. Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Preparing, and I like to add that preparing must include knowing about the history of the place, or how did it happen, how did the poverty problem happen in the first place, actually. Because children can't start talking to other children and helping them without knowing what's the problem, what's the major problem, how it happened. So we have to know about history, about how did this happen, about what other problems they have. So this is included by the good preparation of the trip.
True.
Or the activity for the children, and it is useful.
Mm-hmm.
But without a real good preparation, like doing their homework about what is the problem, what other problems could have happened to these orphans, it can't be useful without this.
Okay. Great, brilliant. Thank you so much for your participation. Because of the time, I'll move on. If you have any question or you need to share your ideas, you are more than welcome to continue with the questions before the end of the session. So let's focus now on what makes it reciprocal. It's allow me to move this here, the slide or the chart. Okay. We want to have, the most important thing is to make it reciprocal. There should be conditions of equality. The problem with service that students sometimes believe or feel themselves they are the saviors who will go abroad, especially with the service abroad with different cultures. They are the saviors who will make a difference in the world. So let them, we need to give them this feeling. So instead of having a reciprocal thing, we have the opposite. Which is feeling that superiority. And it happens all the time with students. We will save them, we'll change their life, we will make difference. It should be an ongoing interaction, as you mentioned, continuity of relationship. Ask them to continue, how we can do more. You visited the orphanage, and then what? Maybe it will be a visit for investigation to start a new project. Maybe this visit is an investigation, basically, to open their eyes to a new project. It should be based on needs. There should be mutual benefits. They start understanding the relationship and how to build it in the community, and think of continuity and so on. Now, there are some ideas here I would like to, or suggestions, a method to empower the young generation, we need to also practice multiple strategies with them in teaching. And here I'm going to suggest some of them. This is the ripple reflection. Ripple reflection is that you help students and youth to examine the relationship with the environment around them. That starts with myself, my home, my school, my community, my country, and world. And on the Padlet, there are lots of resources for you, like documents I shared with you. You can use it, feel free. All the resources are for you to use it in your classes. You will find questions like this. I just put some examples for them. For example, for my self worksheet, you will find that some questions that help students reflect on their relationship about themselves. What is important to me? What am I good at? What is my role at home? Am I aware of my choices? And the students reflect also on the environmental caring for our environment. What is important to me from the global issues? What am I good at? Not good, not so good. What makes me feel happy or sad? What is my role at home? And you can use the same reflection. Each area or circle here has different questions also for you. I will show it to you. You can use it with students of different grade levels in order to let them understand the need and understand their connection with the community around them. Another strategy you can use, and it's very important before starting a service project, is the strategy of the 5 stages used by Catherine Berger as to start a project. Usually kids, as we mentioned, run to preparation. Miss, I did this and that. I started preparing for Workers' Appreciation Day. I started preparing breakfast, for example. Okay, we need to investigate. So take them through the cycle. And there are also worksheets prepared for you to plan the project with them. So I will share it with you now. Let them start with the investigation part. What is the need? What do we want to know? What do you know about this community? Use the MISO process, then preparation, then action, and go use the reflection process all the time. When they investigate, it's recommended to use the MISO process, which is investigate where, what exactly? Maybe through media. Maybe they need to go to books, newspapers to see the problems, the issues we have in the world. Maybe news letters, maybe watch the news, interviews, and let them interview the community. Go to the orphanage before you go. Take your students to the orphanage. Let them sit with the people in charge. What are the problems we have in our community? Let them make surveys with the school community, with the local community, maybe about plastic pollution, maybe about any other thing. Let them observe. Sometimes, as I said, you might take them to a beach or to the nature, engage them with nature, let them go, take information, observe the problems we have in the community. And I do this with my students. I put all the investigation MISO process around on an A3 paper. I divide them to groups and let them write the issues and see how they can investigate about it. On the Padlet also, there is a presentation, editable one, you can use with your students to start an authentic need. You can, on the 3 circles on top, you can see my heart and passion, the other one, the skills, what am I good at, and my interest. And in the first one, you can hand them this, as I said, it's there for you. Tell them to think of a global issues, the Sustainable Development Goals. What is the issue I need to work on? What am my heart is with the people of, or the children of Gaza. My heart is with the people who are dying, with the refugees, with the plastic pollution I have in my community. Maybe in a road there is a problem outside. Students cannot pass for a problem. There is something on the road. Let them think of any problem. What do they want to do? In the second circle, what am I good at? I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at making website. I am good at drawing. Okay. What's your interest? Hiking, swimming, reading. Okay, let's connect them together and down. What if I connect hiking with refugees? Let them choose something from here, hiking, there, what they're good at with refugees. how can connect public speaking with plastic pollution? And from here, take students to higher level. Let's do something based on what you're good at. When you encourage students to do service projects, do not focus only on one type. Encourage students to be engaged in different types of projects, direct, indirect, research, advocacy. Because sometimes students take the shortcut of, Miss, I'm going to do a campaign. Okay, that's great, but let them find a way to let the student work on different projects to be engaged with the community. And only here, with a direct service, students learn, or the learners learn the reciprocity, and this will help them because they see the impact. They see maybe moments of realization come to them when they work directly with refugees. I conducted a project about the refugees, helping refugees in Jordan at Al-Azraq community. And I traveled with my students for more than 3 years to this community, working on sustainable projects. And thanks to all the organization I worked from, helping refugees in Jordan, CARE, Mercy Corps, and so on, they helped us to investigate the need in this community. And I conducted 2 trips per year. And in each year, of course, this was one of the projects that we cannot forget. Students did lots of things based on the community need regarding, they built bathrooms, renovated classes there. They taught them lots of things based on the need. They played with them. Most important thing that I was keen is to create this connection and link with the kids at Al-Azraq. And for a long time, my students sent me, Miss, look at the girl who did this and that. She's now in grade 5. She became more interested in this. They had like all the social media with them and connected with them. And believe me that this project opened the eyes of my students and affected them to the extent that they changed their majors later on. So what I want to say that the more you engage students with the community and make it genuine, and they understand the background and understand the reciprocity, the more it affects them. And this is what we need from a service project that lasted and became more sustainable. So encourage them all the time to participate in, advocate for, host events at early age. Maybe the action is small. It's not necessarily to travel abroad to do a service project. Encourage them to think globally and act locally, because when they act locally, only then they can work on a sustainability to create a project that lasts for a long period of time. And they might start with small action at early age. They might go for campaigns and so on. But as they grow, they build on this project again more and more. As another suggestion also, in addition to other things, I have this also a template for you on the with the resources. Take students through care, aware, able, impact. When you do any lesson, what do I care about? Connected to your units, connected to with students. What I care about? It's the same. Like, where is my heart? What am I passionate about? The issue that really annoys me in my community. Am I aware of it? You can go to the second one. How can I become aware of it? So this is the investigation part. And then what am I able to do? And then impact. How am I taking meaningful action with the community? You can use this template or the other one if you like with all the units when you teach the kids. Another suggestion is the empathy to impact. Let them encourage them to do projects related to the well-being of those kids. Well-being. What are the elements of our well-being? Our well-being of people: physical, emotional, financial, social, environmental, intellectual, occupational, spiritual, maybe. You need to do something for the well-being for physical issue. Let's do something for our body, for our emotional, mental health thing. Encourage your students all the time to work towards also those areas, because this is the benefit area where it happens. Here in this slide, there is, in order to empower young people, you need to provide them with the guidance and the material to help them when they start any project. And I also posted this on the Padlet for resources for you. UNESCO created amazing project planning for service. You can use it. It's by phases, as you see. Phase 1, project identification and planning, project budgeting, and all of those resources are available for you. Let me see here. Quickly, you can see it here. UNESCO resources, when you click on it, you will have all the resources you need, and phase 1 is clarified for you. You can share it with your kids before they start. Fill in this one, and even there are lots of documents for your kids you can take and use when they start service project. More of the resources we want to share also. There is United Nations action also. You can click on this. There are more 170 daily actions you can encourage your students to participate in, and the link is for you now. I will take you to those. Also, this is another resource you can use also with your students. It is explored by theme. So, for example, when you have, let's say, a lesson in chemistry, in biology, or in general, according to international days, you can choose it by theme and click on the link. There are hundreds of ideas listed for you. You can use for your students and link it in collaboration with the other teachers, maybe while planning, and use them for your subjects. Now, Unite to Act, I would like also to share this project with you. Unite to Act. I always say to my student, act locally and think globally. This is a project I would like to share with you that our students working on in the school. It's called Unite to Act. Unite to Act for gender equality. Unite for climate actions. Unite for peace and justice. Let's unite for zero hunger. Let's unite for innovation, and so on. The students started to assign each area of the sustainable goals to a class, and they are working on how the class can unite to act. That not only this, but also we're going to expand this project after we see our students work in order to unite with the school's community around us. So the project, there is a guide if you want. If you are interested in this project, I would love to share with you the guides for each sustainable goal that you can use in order to start such a project in your community. And you can share it with other schools as well to encourage them also to unite to act, and then come up with a day at your school, after school maybe, where all the students can show how they united towards the sustainable goals. And there is a form also in this guide that takes students to the steps of investigation to ensure that it's reciprocal and it's sustainable. So students plan it well and share that plan with you, and they do the action towards the goals. As I mentioned, the Padlets we have here, I just want to go through the Padlet again. There are lots of resources for you. Feel free to use anything you want. This is also writing proposal for your students to encourage them. The MISO method, this is a really recommended video to share with your students before conducting any service project in order to make it sustainable. And there is a folder also created for you here with all the documents you need. You feel free to share it also. And I also collected the resources from the Service Learning Summit. Thanks for them for the resources. And I collected all the resources. Once you click, there are, for example, here, plenty of resources. Feel free to use, and documents about creating a sustainable service projects and the ideas you can share with your students in your classes or at school. Also online, there are lots of ideas, opportunities for students, we can say, to create sustainable project. Festival of Hope, one of the project that we are considering to share or to join. You can host also the event in your school. Global Citizens opportunity, you can apply to as a school to become a global school and register with them, take the courses, and you can share with everyone the ideas as a global school and to create global citizens. So here I would like to say that we are coming towards the end of our session. I want to hear your comments, suggestions. If you have any idea, if you have any anything you would like to ask, you can just drop your question on the chat box. If you have any question, you are more than welcome to ask or to share anything you would like with us here in this session. If you have any question, please ask. Any question? Or if you want to just discuss a specific idea or have any question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. I see your chat. Thanks to you. Thanks for joining. Okay. Still, we need to, any questions? Okay, since still we have something just to focus on, I'd like to take you to the project planning, because this is very important part, unless you want to ask me any question. Okay, I see here.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I work in curricula, making curricula. So I ask how I can inclusion this concept or skills in curricula.
Okay. Now,
effectively, I need that effectively. Yeah.
Okay. If you're working on an IB program, the IB program have like always there is a connection with the global context, where you should or you need to link each and every unit to the global goals. A suggestion, if you are working on a national curriculum or any other curriculum, is to have like a collaborative meeting with teachers all the time. Have like an Excel sheet for each department with the unit that they will teach. And in the collaboration meeting or while planning, teachers need to come up with suggestions. How can we link this unit to the global sustainable development goals? Maybe you need to create an assessment, like assessment at the end. Let's say they talk in biology about germs, bacteria, cells. They find a way to link it, extend the lesson in a summative assessment. They can extend it to have a link to the community, campaign, research, maybe morning assembly talk, maybe something they can extend it, an event in the school, maybe they can, and so on. So it's very important to have the planning ahead with teachers, since you are in charge of the curriculum as a coordinator, to have a meeting with them, to tell them that each unit should be connected to the global goals. So they meet as departments and link it to one of the global goals. And also allow students to brainstorm ideas. In addition to this planning, teacher can direct students or inspire them, what else we can do? Since this is our unit, think of something, brainstorm ideas about how can we link it to the global goals? How can we become global citizens? Let them reflect on it and share their ideas.
Thank you very much for
You're
your
welcome. You're welcome. Any other question or suggestion? Now, there is a survey. Please, if you can access it, it's on the chat box. Access the survey when we before the end of the session, and please completed the feedback about the session. And by the way, I'll drop my email in the chat box. Anytime you need to collaborate in a project, you need more ideas about any or clarification, you are more than welcome to communicate with me. Send me an email. Feel free to use all the resources. It's for you. Just download them, please, and use them in your classes. So please access the chat we have. And complete I hope that everyone is completing the survey, please. It's very important so we can hear your ideas about the session. I'll share my email also on the chat box for you. So if you need to send me any email.
Can I ask you to, if you can show us very quickly on the screen how to plan, or the planning stage, if you don't mind, or if we have some time?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will go to the planning now. Till everyone fills in the survey. The planning phase. Now, when you go to the this one, the UNESCO planning, it's very important. As you see, the planning, it's so helpful, takes you to the steps. Define the goal for your project. Number one, the investigation part. Let the students sit before they plan for the project. Okay, what do you want? Miss, we want to go to this and that. We want to do walking for a cause for the breast. Okay, great. What is your goal for this project? Set your SMART goals. Did you investigate the need? Is there a problem? Because if you will do a service project without a need, it's useless. How can I benefit the community if I don't know the need? And I can't project my objectives on the community. I can't assume that in order to visit elderly house and work with elders, I need to do a day with them, have fun. How do you know? How do you know the need of those people? Maybe they need a partner, someone to talk to. Maybe they feel bored as elderly people alone. So once you have this investigation with the community, and meet maybe the people in charge of elderly house, so you will be able easily to understand that some of them are suffering from loneliness. Maybe some of them need a company. Maybe they don't need breakfast. They don't need gifts. So always encourage them for define their goals and add supporting evidence for their project here. You can see, you can download it, by the way. This is downloadable and you can fill it in as a format. Also, I added other format for you to use as a document before planning. What are the objectives of your project? You can see filling in, and list who your project will help. Ask them the proposal, writing a proposal. What do you want to do? When, where, with whom? What is your objective? What is your goal? I need to help, and be specific. Don't mention I need to help orphans. What exactly you investigated? We need to focus, for example, on providing orphans with resources. They need stories to read at the orphanage house. We found that this is a need. Okay, focus on it. Let's make a campaign to collect stories. Maybe we need to go on weekly basis to read for these orphans, to make it sustainable project, encourage them, reading with them, having company, inspiring them, and so on. What is the frame of your project? Always encourage the students to have a framework, a timeline. Okay, it will start from December 12th till November. And if it's a long term, okay, no problem. We'll have it like 1 year project, but we need to reflect on a monthly basis on the development. There should be an action plan for this project. And you can see here, there are multiple of, you can download it. Now, what else? The phases, go to phase 2 here. If we'll go to phase 2, if the project requires budgeting, tell them how will you fund your project? You do it. Okay, what? Are there, what did you ask the school? Are you going to make a bazaar to collect money? I usually, as a CAS coordinator, I don't like just getting money by donation. I like them to do something like a bazaar, do like something, get the money from it, and then they fund their project. For the refugee projects I'm talking about, it requires lots of, or a big amount of money. They did lots of things at school. For example, they did Got Talent, the school's Got Talent, and they put tickets for the entrance, movie night with tickets, and the tickets funds went to, and so on. So they have to think of the budgeting of the project. Then after the budgeting, you can go to phase 3 of project fundraising. This is the same. Fundraising has another phase here. You can use it also. It is so inspiring to students. So once we give the students organized material and booklets, will tell them to guide them, they will be aware, yes, this is what we have to do before we start. Just provide your kids with the material they need and tell them how the service project needs to be sustainable. And I tell them all the time, you will not change the world. You will make a small difference to the lives of the people. But if you will continue, you can make a difference in their lives. But you will not change. Don't write in your reflection, I changed the lives of those people, because they believe that, okay, I understand their intention, but they have to work on it gradually and make it sustainable and genuine. And so on with the phase. After this, you will go to start taking action. So once we investigate it, we fill in the plan, we start to know the need, the time, then we'll go to take an action. The action should be documented. Encourage your kids all the time to document it by pictures, videos, and also there is here one of the phases for taking an action. So plan it and document it. Part of the documenting is reflection. Reflection is very important. They have to evaluate what they did. They have to look at their goals and reflect on them. Did I achieve it? Why I did not achieve the goals? What's the problem with the goals? Okay, maybe the planning was not appropriate. Maybe we did not investigate enough. Maybe so they learned and replan again to continue the project in a better way to meet their goals. Also, they reflect on the skills they learn. Remember that we need to keep those kids and embed those values. How was it reciprocal? What did you learn? What are the moments that opened your eyes to something? Maybe about yourself, about your abilities, maybe about something about your role in the community. What did you learn from it? Then they document it, keep a platform for students, maybe a drive. If you don't have a platform in the school, let them create portfolios for students so they continuously add to it. And by the time they reach universities or the high school level, they have a portfolio they can apply to universities. They can take it with them, and this is their sense of pride. When they look at it later on, they understand what they did to school community. It might be something simple, but the process is really important to them to learn. I hope that I answered your question.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Khulud Al-Madhoun. In conclusion of this special workshop at the Queen Rania Teacher Academy Forum for Teacher Training 2023, we would like to express our deep thanks to Ms. Khulud Al-Madhoun in this very informative session, and to all of you for your effective and inspiring participation. We hope that this meeting has added value to your ideas and educational skills. We remind you that you will receive your certificate of attendance by email, and we urge you to fill out the feedback survey, which will help us improve and develop our future experiences. We look forward to seeing you at other workshops today, and thank you so much. Goodbye.
I would like just to say thank you so much, Mr. Shadi. Thank you for all the participants for taking your time today. I'm glad to be with you, and I hope that this session was informative to all of you. As I said, just don't hesitate to communicate with me. And thank you so much for Queen Rania Teacher Academy for allowing us this opportunity to communicate with those amazing educators and to have this connection. Thank you so much, Mr. Shadi. Thank you for all the people working on the behind the scenes to make it happen. Thank you so much, everyone.